Shoulders is the call, yeah? Let's lie down on the earth then, please. I'll choose you some music. Take the legs apart, let the feet relax out to the sides. Take the arms away from the body and turn the palms up to face the sky. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, let go with a soft sigh. And again, a long, slow, deep breath in through the nose. And exhale with a gentle sigh. Dropping our awareness, into the body. And to the breath. And noticing the breath. And letting there be a softening and a letting go as you breathe out. And the invitation for the practice is to begin by noticing the body, the sensations in the body. Perhaps noticing any unnecessary sensations of tension. And we invite that tension to surrender up, to let go. And then we notice any tension in the breath. Is it flowing freely? Is it like silk, strong and smooth? And then we come to notice the mind. How busy is your mind this evening? How often are thoughts erupting into the landscape of your consciousness? And sometimes the mind is very busy, is very agitated, is very excited. And sometimes the mind is very calm. And maybe you could imagine it rather like a sea. How choppy, how rough is the sea, how calm is the sea. The second instruction in Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, or the second observation in the sutras, he says, Yogas Chittas Vritti Nirodha. And it means yoga is that which calms the waves of the mind. The chittas, the wavelets, the thoughts. Is that possible? Notice during the practice how the sea state changes in the mind, how the waves in the mind change. Take a breath out and turn your palms down to face the ground. And as you inhale, slowly reach the arms up towards the sky. And exhale and take the arms back behind you. Sorry, Lisa, it's like you're in a bit of a forest there, isn't it, mate? I'll move those before next week. All right, take a lovely deep breath in. And as you breathe out, stretch through the right-hand side of your body, the fingers away, the heel away, point through into the toes. And then relax. Take a deep breath in. And breathing out, stretch through the left-hand side of your body. Fingers away, heel away, point through into the toes. And then relax. Breathing in, slowly stretch the arms up towards the sky. And breathe out and bring the arms back beside your body. And we'll relax the arms here. We'll take a deep breath in. And on the out breath, turn your head gently to the right. Inhale the head to the center. And on the out breath, turn your head gently to the left. Inhale, center. Breathe out, look right. Inhale, center. And breathe out and look left. And inhale gently back to the middle. Bring your legs together. Legs in a straight line down the mat. Inhale, float your arms up towards the sky. And as you exhale, take the arms back behind you. And you're going to clasp each elbow with the opposite hand. Take your heels over towards the right-hand side of your mat. And gently take your elbows over to the right-hand side of your mat so you feel a little bit like a banana on the earth. Keep lightly zipping the legs together and feeling a little bit of length from the left elbow all the way down to the left inner heel. And we'll stay here and we'll breathe, trying to soften the elbows down towards the mat. Two more slow, meaningful breaths here. And then inhale and gently bring the legs back, bring the body back, and just cross your elbows, cross your forearms the other way, so the other forearm comes on top. Take a breath in. And breathing out, walk your feet over to the left and take your arms over to the left. Reach the inner heels away and breathe deeply. You're right, hun. Do you need something? There's some. Is it lots? There's some kitchen roll in the loo if you need it, or some towels. Okay. Alrighty, so just pausing here for another 3 slow deep breaths, reaching the right elbow slightly away from the right inner heel. Just a very subtle stretch. Lovely work. And then inhale and come back to the center. Releasing the elbows, bend the knees and hug the knees up towards your chest. Hands lightly on the knees and maybe just make some little circles with your knees, freeing up your lower back. And when you've been one way, then go the other. And then come to stillness. Spread your arms out at shoulder height with the palms facing up. If you need to stagger yourself with the person next to you, then do so. Inhale and take your knees over to the right. And as you exhale, press the left-hand side of your back to the floor. Bring your knees back to the center. Inhale, take your knees over to the left and look to the right. And exhale, press the right-hand side of your back to the floor. Come back to the center. And keep flowing with this. Inhale, knees right, look left. Exhale, left waist comes to the earth, knees come to the center. Inhaling, knees go left, look right. Exhale to the center. And just keep rolling with this. Leading the action of the movement from the waist, pressing down. Warming up the back. And then next time you come back to the center, rest there. Cross your right leg in front of your left leg, crossing at the thighs. Reach your hands down and take hold of your feet or your ankles, whatever you can comfortably reach. And then imagine that you can just gently and lovingly draw your ankles up towards your shoulders. Taking what you can. Dan, try and lift the heel away from your bottom a little bit. So try and hold, that's it. Walk the hand down as far as you can. That's it. Take a deep breath in and slowly out. Relax the space between your shoulders. Relax your jaw. Inhale and exhale and gently release. Swap the other leg on top. Reach the hands down, find the feet, and lovingly invite them a little bit closer up towards the shoulders. And we take what we can. Dropping back into the breath. Deep breath in. And slow breath out and release. Letting the feet come down to the floor behind the bottom, feet hips distance apart and parallel. Arms come beside the body with the palms facing down. Spread the toes, take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, send the tailbone away, push down through the heels and float the hips off the mat. Hold the work, breathe in. And slowly out. Deep breath in. And slowly out. A few more. Watch the turnout that you've got there, Cheryl. Bring the big toes in a fraction. That's it. And now reach your hands down to the edges of your mat. Hold the edge of your mat and turn the inner wrist up towards the sky, lovingly pulling the mat lightly apart. Deep breath in. And exhale and slowly release the spine back down. Crossing the ankles once again, reach the hands around, find your toes, and with an in-breath, roll up and over and come onto your hands and your knees. Lou, you've got your straps and things? Yeah. Cool. So if you're at home, ideally, you might have seen the post about getting some straps. This next one you can do on the edge of a chair. I'm going to set the guys up with blocks, and then I'll show you how to do it on the edge of the chair if needs be. So we're going to take the blocks in front of us, the two cork blocks, end up, comme ça. And then you're going to have your big toes touching your knees slightly wider apart. And you're going to take a loop in your strap. Do you need a strap, Janine? Okay, let me set this one up and I'll get you one then, hon. Okay. You're going to set the strap up and you probably only need about that much on the strap, which is about 6 to 8 inches. You then take your elbows onto the blocks. You can then kind of rearrange your bottom out behind you. Your elbows are on the blocks. You extend lovingly into the little fingers, and then you drop the forehead down towards the floor, and maybe the forehead will come down and maybe it won't. If you are on a chair, you can just take the chair in front of you. If you're at home on a chair, you can take the arms onto the chair. You'll come up onto your hands and knees and you'll gently work here, keeping the elbows on the edge and extending that way. Do you want to borrow a couple of blocks? Yes. Okay, those ones are... those ones are right at the back.
Thank you very much.
Where's my bag of straps gone? Okay. Elbows, yes. I know it's a strong sensation. Bit smaller apart with your hands on. So when your palms are going to be facing each other on the blocks. There you go. Good, Lou. That's super. Lengthen from the elbow into the little finger and lovingly draw your ribs away from that place. Knees a bit wider, Ginny, if you're comfortable. Knees a bit wider, Cheryl, if you're comfortable. That looks great, Lisa. Keep extending, extending, extending. Good. Turn those 90 degrees. Honey, turn them 90 degrees. That's it.
I have done this before.
I know you've done it. It's okay, sweetie. It's a windy day. Let's put it down to that. It's a windy day. Elbows on the mat, elbows on the blocks. Breathe. And then ideally, the invitation is for you to come back into the sensations of the body, which are probably quite juicy. Come back to the quality of your breath. And then the key to this, the bit that makes it yoga, yogas chitta sphuriti nirodha. What is the state of your mind here? And we drop into it without judgment. And maybe your mind, maybe the inner dialogue is about the sensations that you're having. And to some person, they might be really juicy sensations, and to somebody else, they might be god-awful sensations. And can we temper that? Can we feel a sensation without labeling it as either good or bad? Can we feel a sensation without creating a story around it? Now, I don't want you to feel pain, but I don't apologize if you're feeling a strong sensation. Some people might call that work. All right, so 3 more slow, meaningful breaths here. Press out into the strap. Try and wrap your thumbs a little wider. Lisa, this is a really good one for your shoulders in downward facing dog, my lovely. Good. And at the end of those 3 deep breaths, you're going to come slowly out of the work. And come to kneeling. If you don't enjoy kneeling, then come to another seated position of your choice. Have a block in your hand. And with an in-breath, you're going to take the block up towards the sky with one hand. Bend the elbow and receive the block in the other hand. And just work through. Now try not to just lob the block back in a random fashion. Thank you, just on cue.
Where did you park, Jenny? It's just not my day.
And just try not to stick your tongue out. That's great that you're concentrating. Sort of all look a little bit like sort of Shiva with all of his arms. And we're going to keep going for a little bit longer. If you don't have a block at home, you could just be touching your fingers towards each other, but the actual weight of the block is quite a nice way of mobilizing the shoulders. A few more. It's kind of like a really nice way of slightly fun of getting that cow's head pose, Gomukhasana, arms reinforced. Well done. Cheryl, I could have given you a heavier block if you wanted. And then release. Good stuff. Come over onto your hands and your knees. Inhale, look up towards the sky. Exhale, round your back, come back. Stretch your hands forward. Inhale, look forward, rise up, arch the back. Exhale, round back into pose of the child. And keep flowing with this. Inhaling back up. Exhaling and rounding back. A few more. And I want you just to let this evolve into anything that your body is asking for you. Maybe you want the bottom circling a little bit. Maybe you don't want to rock back into pose of the child, but please be intuitive now in the way that you work. And don't let that be too heavy an ask. Get used to tuning in to your own needs. And when enough's enough, come back onto the hands and the knees. So when the shoulders are directly over the wrists, the knees are subtly back behind the hips. Turn your toes under. Float your knees off the mat. And exhale and roll back into downward facing dog. And ideally, I would love you to not necessarily start off with straight legs, to reinforce the action of the open chest, which we encouraged when our elbows were on the blocks. And in that way, can you kind of feel an opening across the chest, a spreading of the front body from the sternum outwards? Maybe. Ginny's extend into the index finger and squeeze your forearms towards each other. That's it, my love. Good. And then we'll come high up onto the tippy toes, come forward into a press up position. And exhale, drop the knees to the floor and sink back towards the heels, just as far as we comfortably can. And then we'll inhale and look forward. And exhale, rock down, heart between the hands. And as we inhale, let's come forward into cobra. Before exhaling and turning the toes under and coming back to the dog face down. Walk your feet a little wider, feet wider than the hips. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, swivel on the balls of the feet and take the heels to the right. And just hold that work. Try and keep the weight fairly even in the hands. Hang the head. Hips high, Janine, hips high. Push through your hands. Bend the knees if it's better for you. Inhale, heels come back to the center. And exhale, take the heels the other way. Squeeze your forearms towards each other. And if it feels nice to bend the knees, bend the knees. It's your practice. Inhale, come back to the center. And exhale, walk your hands back towards your feet. Take the hands, wrap them around the opposite elbows, spread the toes, and roll your way in a circle around your feet. And then roll the way in the opposite direction. Those of you who are online, don't do it now, but at the end of class, could you let me know if the music comes through as a distraction, or if you can even hear it, and if it's something you prefer me to do or not to do in the future, if it makes a difference to your practice. And then we'll come to stillness, release the elbows and bend the knees. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, scoop in and up through the lower abdomen, tone the pelvic floor and begin to roll up, pressing down through the inner heels and rolling up bone by bone by bone until you find yourself standing. And when you're standing, inhale, reach the arms up high. Take hold of the opposite elbow. Reach up, breathe in. And as you breathe out, come over to your right. All the way over. Press your left hip away from you. Head back. Inhale, come on up. And exhale, come over to your left. Right hip away. Lengthen your elbow away from your foot, your left foot. Inhale, come on up. And exhale, bring your hands to your hips. Elbows come back. Inhale, heart lifts, look up. Exhale, bend the knees, come forward over your legs. Take your hands down to your shins. Inhale, look forward, find length. And exhale and bow in, hollowing the abdomen as you do so. Inhale, look forward, extend through the spine. Exhale, hollow the abdomen and draw in. Look up. Inhale, reach up, drop the tailbone, reach the hands up over the head. And as you exhale, take your hands behind you and clasp your fingers together. Now, if your shoulders are tight, then you might be better off holding a strap. Inhale, arms lift up through the heart. And as you exhale, come forward over the legs. Spread your toes. Breathe your knuckles away from your shoulders and exhale and soften the arms away from your back. Have a sense of lifting from the inner knee right up to the inner sitting bones. Lisa, lovely, I want you to use the strap, hon. I want you to use the strap about 6 to 12 inches behind. Don't worry, just take it behind you. Just take it behind you. Give yourself about 6 to 12 inches. And then go forward again. Don't worry about that. Just hold it. Yeah, that's it. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's better.
Good. Spread your toes, tip the weight slightly forward towards the front of your feet. And pushing down through the heels, inhale and stand back up. And exhale and bring your hands beside you. Feet come together. Inhale. And on the out breath, bend your knees. And you're actively sending your knees forward of your toes. Then from here, inhale and reach the arms up. And send them up. Drop your tailbone Flatten your back to the best of your ability. And reach. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, bring the hands into the prayer position and twist to your left. And take the right elbow over to the outside of the left knee. Left hand presses into right hand. Head comes back between the shoulders. Sink a little deeper, send that knee forward. Good. Inhale. Exhale, release forward. Keep the knees bent. Inhale, reach up. Lift the gaze. Drop the tailbone, contain the abdomen. Stretch. Good. Inhale. And as you exhale, go, I think it's to the right, isn't it? Left elbow over outside of right knee. Or do the opposite of what you did last time. Send the knees forward, both knees, not just the outside one. I love it. We've got half the room going one way and half the room going the other. Inhale. And exhale, release to the center. Take your hands either side of your feet or the hands to the shins, your choice. Inhale, look forward, find length. Exhale and bow in deeply. And we take what we can. If the hands are flat on the floor, then we work the heel of the hand towards the floor. If the hands are working towards that, then we work the heel of the hand towards the floor. If the hands are happier on the backs of the legs, then that's where they need to be. And then have a sense of lifting up from your ankles, through your knees, all the way up towards your pelvic floor. And then send a wave of relaxation down your spine and let it drip off the crown of your head. And then we'll inhale and look forward. Exhale, bend our knees, bring our hands to our hips. Push down through the inner heels and inhale and stand up. And exhale and release. So everybody in the room, turn to the right, please. And we're working with Trikonasana. So turn your right foot out and push your left heel away from you and then level your hips. Inhale, bring the arms up to shoulder height. And exhale, take the right hand down and the left hand up. Bend your elbows and reach your hands towards each other. And maybe they join and maybe they don't. Lightly lift up through the thigh of the right leg. And as you exhale, come over to the right and lean back and look over the left shoulder. Lean into your hands. And if that's not accessible to you, then you're just going to hold the opposite elbow with each hand as we did at the beginning of class and come over. Couple more breaths. And then we'll slightly soften the right knee and inhale and come all the way back up. Exhale and release the hands. Just rest them on your hips. Turn your left foot out, push your right heel away. Bring the hips level. Inhale, take the right arm up and the left arm down. And exhale and bring the hands together. Or alternatively, you can hold the opposite elbow, although that is actually harder. Take a breath in. As you exhale, send your tailbone towards your right heel and come over to the left. And then lean back into the support of your arms. And breathe. Try and keep that left leg straight. Lisa, that's it. And turn that foot out a little bit more. That's it. Good. Lean back with your head, Ginny. Exhale deeply. And then on the in-breath, come all the way up. And exhale, turn your feet square on your mat and rest your hands on your hips. Inhale, heart lifts, look up. Exhale, come forward. Reach the hands down towards the floor. And if the hands can't come to the floor, you can take your block under your center of your chest. Left hand moves to the center of the chest, under the center of the chest. And inhale and reach your right arm up towards the sky. And push down through the left hand and reach up through the right arm. Go up one level, Dan, with the block. That's it. Cool. And lightly square up the hips. If it's too much in the shoulder, take that right hand to your lower back. And remember, if you're working at home and I can't see you, then please be discerning. Breathe in. And if you want to, you can slide the hands a little bit further back. And bend your elbows. Spread the toes wide and lift your inner ankle towards your outer ankle. Free your neck. Use the other block as well so your chest is open down. That's it. And feel it. Feel the sensations. Feel the sensations of breath. And maybe you'll get so astute at this that you can feel the physical sensations around certain thoughts. Yeah? I saw an email today that was a shock, and I could feel the shock in my body. I could feel it reverberating through my nervous system. Didn't make the feelings that I was having righteous or right or appropriate. They just were. They just were. And in that moment, I knew that I was slightly upset. It's subtle. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, the hands come to the hips. Soften the knees. Inhale, stand up. And exhale, step back to the front of your mat. Bring your hands to your heart. And maybe there are times when you can observe the feelings of delight, of pleasure, the sensations that go with those feelings. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, turn your right foot out to the side. Spread the toes on your left foot and bring your right foot up the inside of your leg, knee wide. And then inhale and reach up. And we want straight arms. So I want you to remember what it felt like to have your arms on the cork blocks. Remember that sensation. Remember the loop around your wrists. Press the knee wide. And then take hold of your opposite elbow. Take a breath in. And breathe out, come over to your right. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Oh, such nonsense. Inhale, come on up. And exhale and release and bring the hands back to your heart. And step out of the work. Right foot goes down, spread the toes. Left foot goes out. And slowly slide the left foot up the inside of the right leg. Knee presses wide. And if you're flailing around tonight, that's because there's high winds. Inhale, reach up. Inhale. Exhale, take hold of the opposite elbow. Inhale. And as you exhale, come over to the left. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Don't look at me. Inhale, come on up. And exhale. And the hands come to the heart. Take a breath in. And then gently release. Deep breath in. Slow breath out. Deep breath in. And slow breath out. And just drop back into your mind. Notice it. Notice the flavor of your mind, the taste of the emotions. Inhale. Exhale. And on the in-breath, reach up high. And on the out-breath, come all the way forward. Inhale, look forward, extend. And exhale, step your right leg back. Lou, can I just get you to slide your mat back about, because we've got plenty of room. Just slide it back to those cables, and then we won't be kissing in a non-COVID type fashion, non-COVID friendly fashion. And then lift your right knee, push down through your right hand, and inhale and lift your left arm up towards the sky. And I want you to try and push down as much through your left heel as you're receiving weight in your right hand. Send the arms straight up. Inhale. And exhale and release. Drop your right knee to the floor and pull back into Ardha Hanumanasana. If you need to slide the heel a bit further forward, then do so. Keep your neck free. Let your attention and your breath be like two fishes that are swimming in unison, synchronized fish swimming. That's it, that's yoga. All these years you've been coming and you didn't realize it was all about fish. Inhale, look up. And as you exhale, come forward. Now, if you need an extra bit of cushioning underneath your knee, let it be there. Walk your left foot out to the side a little bit. And then you're going to walk your fingers towards the right corner of your mat. Come up onto your fingers and sink through that left thigh. If it feels vulnerable, then have a slight squeeze of the back knee and the front heel towards each other. If it feels delicious, then enjoy it. Inhale, look forward. And exhale and release. So we're going to come back. Some of you will love this. Some of you will not love this. We're going to come back to sit beside the right heel. Now, if there aren't enough blocks in Christendom for you to do this comfortably, you can sit on a block, but Viv, if there aren't enough blocks in Christendom, then just come to sit in Jnana Sirsasana with the foot in front. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Because ideally you need a bolster, don't you? So with Triangle Mukha Paschimottanasana, the heel is beside the hip. It's a Virasana leg, a hero's leg. And we pull the flesh of the calf back to get towards this. You're right. Cool. Don't ram that left knee down, honey. Your left knee. Yeah.
Oh,
yes. And leave her knees alone as well. Okay. So the left heel is, so if you're hovering up high, then yeah, just keep a slight bend in that left knee. Don't just press it down. Inhale, reach the arms up high. And exhale and come forward over the leg. Free the neck. And then drop into the whole field of sensation. Now you can use a strap if you've got your strap around your foot. The other thing you can do as well is if it's the ankle that's giving you jip in this work, you can get used to rolling up a blanket and putting a blanket underneath your ankle joint as a roll. There's all sorts of ways of accessing this. Inhale, look up. And exhale and release. Slide your left heel up. You're going to take your right arm and wrap it around the front of the shin. Clasp your fingers together and pull lightly back with your left hand. And look over your left shoulder. So you can still do this if the right foot is in front instead of beside you. And keep that light pull in the left hand to strengthen up the rhomboids. Inhale, look forward. And exhale and release. Left foot comes forward. Journey forward. Take your fingertips to the earth. Inhale, look up. And exhale, step your right foot forward and fold over your legs. Inhale, look forward, extend. And exhale, step your left leg back. Keep the left leg lifted if you can. Let your left hand come flat to the floor or onto a block. And inhale and reach your right arm up towards the sky. And again, try and get the weight even between the amount of effort of the right right heel pressing down and the left hand pressing down. And have a sense of reaching your heel and your crown in opposite directions. Inhale. And exhale and look down. Take the hand down to the floor. And we're going to drop the left knee to the floor and come into Ardha Hanumanasana. Heel to the earth. Toes, don't go all the way back yet, my sweet. Don't be sorry. That's my job. It's in my job description. And try and free something in your shoulders. Free something in the jaw. Deepen the breath. And then we'll come forward. Walk your right foot out a little bit. And walk your fingers towards the left and send your tailbone out in the opposite direction. And if that feels lovely and stretchy in the groin, then that's dandy. If it feels a little bit too much, don't then sag. Have a slight pulling of the front heel and the back knee towards each other. Find a little support in the work. If you want to straighten the back knee, then by all means do so. And I offer that as an alternative, not as a challenge. Breathe. Lou, are you all right with that door open? Is it not too cold? Okay. Don't go too far to the edge. Kind of reach your fingers towards where your blocks are, Dan. Yeah, that towards that corner. And then send your tailbone. It's a diagonal thing, tailbone going away. You're kind of reaching towards the light with your crown. Reach towards the light, Daniel. Inhale, look forward. And exhale and release. And then we rock back, coming to sit perhaps upon a block. Is that your left leg too, isn't it? And if you need to pull the flesh back, then do so. If you need to roll up a blanket and put it underneath your ankle, then you can do as well. Whatever makes it most accessible. Inhale, reach tall. And exhale, come forward over the leg. If you need a strap, use a strap. If you don't, don't. Don't drop your chin to your chest, though, in a sort of... Lisa, just don't worry about taking the loop out. Just simply take it around. Then you can hold the strap and don't wrap. Don't wrap. Just slide your hands down as for wherever's comfortable. Hold it lightly and begin to offer the elbows slightly apart. And then as the leg warms up, you can inch your hands a little further down. Can you feel how that opens your chest? Yeah, good. Keep your collarbones wide. And you could even let a little smile play in the corners of your mouth. Your body loves a smile. Your nervous system loves a smile. I love your smile. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, release out of the work. Come back into the lunge. And this time we're going to push through the hands and step back to downward facing dog. And walk out your knees. Invite the blood back. into the joints. Any little movements that feel nice. And then we're going to inhale and come high up on our tippy toes. And exhale, take the knees to the floor and sink the bottom back towards the heels. And you can reach the hands forward, or you could drop the elbows to the floor, bring the hands into the prayer position and rest the hands just back behind the skull. And maybe you could inch the elbows a fraction further forward and then lovingly pull back, just stretching through the skin of the tricep. And it feels good. And then we'll release and come up onto our forearms, clasping our fingers together, checking that the elbows aren't wider than the shoulders. And tuck your bottom little finger in so that it doesn't get crushed, and press your forearms down in a strong action of chopping. Turn your toes under, float your knees off the mat, and taking the feet quite wide, bend your knees and pull your belly between your thighs, pull your heart between your knees. Keeping the head off the floor, push with your forearms. So strong. Really bend your knees. Widen your sitting bones out behind you. Such an elegant, strong shape. And then you can inhale and come forward as if you could kiss your thumbs, and then exhale and pull back. And inhale and come forward, kiss your thumbs, and exhale and pull back. And then we'll slowly drop the knees to the floor. Come up on the hands. Come up all the way up onto the knees. And if you have a block, you're going to take a block thusly up your inner thighs. If you don't have a block, then don't worry about it. Squeeze the block. Press the tops of the feet down into the floor. Take your hands out in front. Oh no, take one hand to the belly and one hand to the lower back. Take a deep breath into the hand on the belly. And as you exhale, scoop and gently lift the lower abdomen. Hands come in front, breathe in. And as you breathe out, pulse back. Inhale, come up. Squeeze the block. Exhale, come back. Inhale up. And there's a real reinforcing of the lifting of the abdomen as you come back. A few more. And then inhale and come up. And exhale and release. Hands to the back. Peel the elbows back. Lift the heart. Keep lifting the heart. Take the front of the throat towards the back of the neck. And exhale and gently peel back. Hips forward. And then to come up, keep the head back, push down through the shins and inhale, come up and lift the head last. Exhale and release. Now you can turn the toes under if you know that Ustrasana, you need the heels a bit closer. We're going to work one hand at a time. Inhale. And as you exhale, look down, take your right hand down to your heel, hips come forward. Inhale, reach the left arm up, palm facing the center line. And exhale, reach it back. Take the front of the throat towards the back of the neck. Keep lifting up through the front of your spine. Only work to your own comfortable capacity. Then push through the shins, inhale, come up, lift the head last. And as you exhale, look to the left and take the left hand down to your left heel. Inhale, look forward, reach up through the right arm, strong arm. And exhale and begin to take it back. And you're still lifting up. Send your tailbone down, send your pubic bone down to your knees and lift up out of the belly. Now push through the shins, inhale, come up, lift through the right arm. And exhale and release. Now you can work one arm at a time if you want to, or you can turn the toes under to get both hands to the heels, or you can have them down. Take your choice. Inhale, hands start on the back, go through the actions, front of the throat to the back of the neck, and then exhale, reach your hands back and find your heels. Lift your hips and look back. Good. And we take what we can. And to come out of the work, we push down through our shins and we inhale and we come all the way up. And taking the toes together, take the knees apart and exhale and sink your bottom back towards your heels. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, thread your left arm all the way underneath you. Take the shoulder down towards the floor. And you might want to just take your right hand behind your back and wriggle the fingers down towards your thigh, threading it between the envelope. And breathe. And we begin once again. And what happens is that when the mind has gone off on a tangent, we notice that. And we simply begin again. We'll take a deep breath in. And breathe out, release the right hand back underneath our shoulder. And pressing lightly through the right hand, come back. Place the left hand on the floor, take a breath in. And breathe out, thread your right arm all the way underneath you. Drop your right cheek towards the floor. And take your left hand behind you. Threading the fingers between the waist and the inner thigh. Soften your face. Inhale and exhale and release the left hand down to the floor. Push through the hands and come back to crouching. Turning our toes under, floating the knees off the floor. So for Kakasana, for crow, some people actually benefit from coming up onto a little bit of height. So if you struggle with this one, you might want to try that as an alternative. Then wherever you are, bring your heels high, push your instep forward. Take the first 4 inches above the elbow to the inner knee. Take your hands flat to the floor, slightly turn them in towards each other. The hands, don't do that with your thumbs, Lisa, flat to the floor. Turn your palms slightly in, slightly, that's it. Bend your elbows out to the side. Lift your bottom. Look forward and begin to drop your shoulders. And as you drop your shoulders, your toes will just, maybe one, or maybe both of them will float off the floor. Bend your elbows, Janine, and look forward. Your hands need to be wider apart. Bend your elbows, look forward, lift the bottom. Now push with your toes, look forward. Now you're in a crowy type place. And you've got to drop your shoulders a little bit. That's it. Practice lifting one foot up. Okay. Squeeze your knees lightly in. Round your back. Tighten your pelvic floor. Looking good. No. And when you've had enough of all of this, you're going to gently allow your bottom to come down to the floor. And you're going to bring yourself to cross-legged. And maybe you'll benefit from sitting on a block. Just take your hands down to your knees for a moment and just circle your heart. And free up your lower back. And be very mindful in your movement. Notice when you fidget. A fidget is a mindless movement done without any awareness. When you're preoccupied with something else. And a mindful movement is a yogic movement. And then you'll go the other way. And it's so mindful that you're just lost in the sensations of your body. You have no concept of whether you're doing it right or wrong. It just is. And then we'll come to stillness. So I've got my right shin in front. It doesn't matter if you've got your left shin in front, but it matters that you notice. We're not going to draw the feet in close. The feet are out and underneath the knees. So if you need to walk your feet out a little bit, then you do so. And you might want a block, or you might want two. And you take the block to the floor. And you're going to lovingly walk your hands forward, and maybe you can rest the forehead on the block, or maybe you might even need 2 blocks. Maybe you need a whole Leaning Tower of Pisa arrangement. Maybe you don't need any block. You know, maybe you're just very open in your hips. And that feels nice. And then we try and soften. We rest the forehead on the block so that we can rest the mind. It's a little indicator to us. And we might want to remember Patanjali Sutra 1-2, chapter 1, Sutra 2, verse 2. Yoga Chitta Spiriti Nirodha. And I'm just going to invite you to check in to your mind and notice if it's different now as you breathe slowly in stillness here to how it was when you started this evening. And then we'll inhale and slowly rise up. And we'll just release, notice which one's in front, and then release your feet nice and wide. Take your breath in. And as you breathe out, just drop your knees over towards the right. Have your feet a bit wider apart, dollface, that's it. If you need to move a bit on your mat, that's fine. And then inhale, come up. And exhale, take your knees over to the left. Pause here. Inhale up. Exhale right. Inhale up. And exhale left. And inhale, come all the way up. And this time you're going to cross your legs with the other shin in front. You've probably thought about it too much now. I can't remember which is which. And you might need your block and see where you get to. Inhale, lift the heart. And exhale and come forward. And what you'll find is if you've been slightly over-ambitious with the work, then you can't relax the weight of your head down, the weight of your brow, your third eye. So just kind of find that happy medium. And if you're in the yoga department, in the posture department where you won't be getting your head in a block anytime soon, then that's fine too. Just sit. Take what you can, come forward just as much as you comfortably can. In actual fact, it's only when you get sort of beyond 45 degrees that the weight of the head becomes a tension in its own right. If you're more upright, then the alignment of the spine means that the head is held more easily. Those of you who are really low down, you might want to just soften your elbows down towards the floor. Just let them come to rest. Any which way feels nice. So there's a real sense of rest here. Yogas Chittas, Vritti Nirodha. And what you'll notice is that it's almost impossible to have any sustained moments where there is no thought. So please don't beat yourself up when you notice the thought. It requires an incredibly proficient practitioner of meditation and yoga to sustain even 5 breaths without any thought. What we're practicing is an awareness of those thoughts. This is what it is to be contemplative in your existence. So you're not just a bit of flotsam on the ocean of consciousness. You can navigate these thoughts with dexterity and with grace as they arise, in the same way the captain navigates the storms. Can't stop the storms coming, but you can choose the lay of the ship in the storm. Exhale to end point. And inhale and slowly arise out of the posture. And once again, unfold the legs. And the feet are nice and wide, so when we drop the knees over to the right, the left knee is going to rest in the instep of the right foot. Yes, just drop them over and make the adjustment you need to. You don't need to have that heel too far away, just kind of like a circle of leg around you. And we'll just take a gentle twist to your right. Eyes closed. Acknowledging any unnecessary tension in the body. And just giving those areas permission to let go, to soften. Perhaps reminding yourself that you're safe. And we'll inhale and look forward. And exhale and release. And we'll take the knees over to the left. Taking the left hand behind you and your right hand to the left knee. Sit tall and breathe in. And breathe out and gently twist to the left. Inhale, look forward. And exhale and release. And maybe wrap your arms around your legs. Maybe take a little hug. Maybe let the feet come off the floor so that you feel very light, very buoyant. And lightly lift your head. And very gently release out of the work. Put on any warm clothes that you'd like for Shavasana, or if you're warm, none at all. Well, no, don't do none at all. The video's still running. You know what I mean. It's pervy yoga with them. So the legs come apart, the feet relax out to the sides. And the arms are away from the body with the palms facing up towards the sky. Take a deep breath in through the nose. And exhale with a soft sigh. And again, a deep breath in through the nose. And out with a soft sigh. Body settles. Allow your breath to ebb and flow all by itself. Notice if you have a tendency to be a bit of a tyrant to your breath. Now is the time to let the conscious work of breath go and to trust that the universe will breathe you. Trust your own capacity for relaxation without the technique of breath. And as your face softens, the muscles around the eyes relax and the muscles around your mouth relax. Then rest your awareness in the space between your eyebrows. And at the front of your mind, melt towards the back of your skull. So that body, breath, and mind can float in the still waters of the ocean of consciousness. Taking a long, slow, deep breath in and out of your body. Wriggle your fingers and wriggle your toes. Enjoy a nice stretch. Bending your knees, roll over to your right hand side. Before you move, just take a moment to smile inwardly to yourself, to every bit of yourself, to the physical body that feels the sensations, to the breath that delivers the prana, the life force energy, your sense of aliveness, and to your mind, with all its ludicrous dialogue, and to your deepest inner wisdom. Because when yogas chitta svariti nirodha begins to happen, then we give space for the wisdom to begin to emerge. And then we begin the whole process of trusting that wisdom. It's another 10 years' work. Got so much to look forward to. So much. Bring yourself slowly to a seated position. And bring your hands in front of your heart. Let's chant one Om together. Take a deep breath in. Namaste. God bless. Have a lovely evening. And thank you for those of you that were joining us online as well.